Okay, welcome back to our class again. I'm Sir PJ Pason, your lecturer for your lesson 2 for this week. Okay, it's about the properties of the solids to the nature of the forces between the particles. So basically, we're going to continue our discussion. Last week, okay, we discussed about the properties of liquids. But now we're going to proceed based on the kinetic molecular model natin. So, ang susunod natin i-discuss is the properties of solids naman. So, kung yung last time natin, it's about the liquids. We discuss about the surface tension, the viscosity of the liquids, the heat vaporization, the vapor pressure itself. Discuss na rin natin yon. Then, the formula of the Clausius-Clapeyron. Then, of course, the boiling point of the liquids. So, today, we're going to discuss about the solid naman. So, if liquids have particles that are loosely held, kung napapansin natin yung liquids natin, so medyo yung particles niya is medyo loose, no? Loose konti. So, thus, giving it the particles to the ability to slide past one another and basically they can flow. Kasi dahil nga sa medyo loose yung kanilang particles, so kaya nagagawa nila. They can pass one another and at the same time, they can flow. Okay? While solids on the other hand, have the particles that are tightly held by intermolecular forces or the IMF natin, giving it a more compact structure. Okay? Kung nakikita natin sa ating background, ayan. So basically, they are compact together. Okay? So in this lesson, we're going to introduce to you the characteristics and the properties of the different types of solids. So, ano na ba tong different solids nating i-discuss? So, at the end of this lesson, I hope we will achieve this goal that we are going to differentiate the crystalline and the amorphous solids. So what is the difference between them? Then explain the meaning of the crystal lattice and the unit cell. And the last one, we're going to describe the different characteristics and properties of the different types of crystalline solids. So sana ma-achieve natin yan at the end of this discussion. So before we start, I have here a figure of a diamond. So have you ever wondered how these precious gemstones are formed before they are placed in an expensive jewelries? So, hindi kayo nagtatakang paano sila nagsimula. So, what is basically the paano nangyari yan bago sila napunta. So, ano ba yung components para mabuo yung ating precious gemstone na to. So, this is what we call diamond. So, basically, this is the hardest mineral, okay, in our most scale. Okay? So, sa tingin nyo, ano yung, if you want to buy a diamond for your engagement ring or even a necklace or just an earrings, okay? So, ano yung mga kinoconsider natin, okay, before buying that kind of particular diamond? So, basically, no, yung unang titingnan natin yung color. And basically, color talaga, it's really attracts, okay? The customer itself. Then, syempre, titingnan din natin yung cuts. Diba? Kung maganda yung pagka-cuts, the design itself, the shapes. Yan, isa yan sa mga titingnan natin once we buy a diamond. And so, basically, yun yung mga benchmark na kailangan natin alamin before buying that. So, for the glimpse of information, although sa module nyo, nandun yung link kung paano ipopolish or paano ginagawa or paano how they are formed the diamond and to the place na magiging siya ating jewelries. So basically, according to the information, so meron daw siyang basically from the South Africa. Ito yung country na may malakas or mataas ngayon produce ng diamonds. So it's about 12%. So nandun yun sa video. So in-spoil ko na kayo onte. So basically, then ano yung components pa, ano yung mga ingredients ba para magawa tong diamond. So basically, number one, we have the ingredients. Number one is the carbon. So kailangan natin ng carbon. Pangalawa, dapat mag-undergo yan ng intense heat. Okay? Intense heat. Kailangan yan masyadong mainit. So it's about 1,300 degrees Celsius. So ganun kainit yung dapat ilagay sa kanya para mas lalo siyang maging masukat yung tibay niya, yung strength especially. Then, so syempre kung meron tayong intense heat, meron din siyang high pressure. So basically, kung kukunin natin siya or kung saan man siya nanggaling is basically nasa nasa ilalim ng lupa or nasa magma. Okay? So kasi andun yung masyadong init at the same time ang taas ng pressure doon. Sobrang lalim ng pressure doon. Okay? So kung napapansin natin, ang taas ng pressure doon. So basically doon nangyayari yung ating mga diamonds. So paano sila nakukuha? So pwede siyang i-dig up o kaya sa aabangan natin pag may sumasabog na volcano. Okay? So yung basically yung iba pag hindi sila sumabog yung vulkan, so ang nangyayari is nanatili sila doon sa ating tube. Okay, sa labasan, sa labusan ng magma. Basically doon sila natitigil kung hindi man sila sumasabog. So kaya yun yung ginagawa ng ibang miners, basically yung mga kumukuha talaga ng diamond. So doon nila kinukuha yun. Okay? So just a glimpse of information about the diamonds and how they are formed. So nasa nasa module nyo, kindly click the link below. Okay, kung paano sila na-form basically. Okay, so ayun, ganun ka doon yung makikita kung paano talaga siya pina-furnish para maging jewelries. At the same time, ano yung mga benchmark to be considered para bumili ng isang diamond. Okay. So what structures and types of solids? So basically, we have two types. Okay. They are classified into the two main categories based on their particle arrangement. So we have the amorphous solids and crystalline solids. So based dito sa ating figure, what is the difference between them? Can you describe? So anong nakikita natin? Okay. So we can easily identify kung ano yung different ng dalawa. So basically, the crystalline solid, they are highly regular arrangement of particles. So kung napapansin natin, they are very much arranged in the order, manner. So ganun sila ka-regular yung arrangement nila. While the amorphous solid, they can be considerable as disorder. Kung napapansin natin, ayan. So napaka-disorder naman ng particles meron siya. At the same time yung structure niya. So basically ayun agad yung makikita natin based dyan sa ating sa ating figure. But we will dig more about the crystalline solid. So crystalline solid is a solid with particles arranged in a geometric pattern that repeats itself over and over in the three dimensions. So kung napapansin nyo kanina sa ating figure, they are basically arranged in geometric pattern. So may nakita naman tayo yung geometric pattern. At the same time, nauulit siya. It repeats over and over. Then it can be C or through the three dimensions. Okay, kahit sa ang sulok yung titingnan natin, it's really the particle itself is really arranged accordingly. So a crystalline solid has an high ordered long range arrangement of individual particles. So ano mga particles na to? Andyan yung siyempre the atoms, the ions, and the molecules itself, which is reflected in the planar faces and the sharp angles of crystals. So kung papansinin natin yung physical appearance ng isang crystals, so mapapansin agad natin kung anong composition meron siya sa loob. Ibig sabihin, kung medyo smooth siya, napaka-planar yung faces niya at merong sharp angles, basically they are crystalline solid. Yung structure ng isang particle. Okay, pag titingnan natin, physically pa lang ma-identify na agad natin. Okay? So, lalo na pag smooth, so ito yung mga other example. Ayan, kung napapansin natin. So, they are smooth basically. Ayan, so ito yung, it's an example of the crystalline solid na si galena. Okay, it's galena. So kung papansin natin, kung sa labas pa lang, ma-identify na agad natin kung ano yung composition niya sa loob in terms of the elements. So meron siyang lead and a sulfur. Okay? Then sabi nga natin kanina, the arrangement are regular, and that's why they are compact more to each other than the amorphous solid. So another example is very much nakikita lagi natin once we are cooking, okay, sa ating mga menu sa bahay. Basically, it's a sodium chloride or yung table salt, alam natin. So basically, pag nakikita natin yan, di ba sila ang kinis, ang kinang, then they are cube. Okay? So doon pa lang sa physical appearance niya, we can easily identify na they are crystalline solid. Bakit? The planar is smooth and the edges are very much sharp. Yan, mapapansin natin agad yan na they are crystalline form. Okay? So another example for the crystalline solid are the galena, yan, the quartz, the pyrite, and the topaz, and the amethyst, and so on. Marami pa tayong example dyan. So you can search it for the Google, but ito lang yung nagbibigay natin example. Okay, so I hope the crystalline solid is clear for you. So we need to move to amorphous solid. So based kanina sa figure natin, sabi nga natin, they are considerable as a disorder. Okay, so possible. Okay, so ano naman meron sa amorphous solids? So the amorphous solids are solids that lack a well-defined three-dimensional arrangement and a long-range ordering of particles. So particularly, parang contradiction dun sa ating crystalline solids kung saan kung kanina is well-defined, ito naman lack. Ibig sabihin may pagkukulang. Hindi siya talaga perfectly three-dimensional. Then the arrangement, the long range of ordering of the particles, it's lacking. Okay. So glass and organic polymers such as polyethylene, okay, and polystyrene and rubber are example of amorphous solids. So mapapansin natin yung rubber, no? So they are basically not arranged, not no the the three-dimensional arrangement is lacking. So may mga kulang-kulang dong structure kaya ganun siya itsura. Okay? Same time hindi siya smooth. Okay, hindi masyadong smooth yung 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 surface niya. Then yung the planar hindi rin. So we can easily identify, although hindi pa natin talaga alam yung composition niya sa loob, but we can easily identify based on their physical appearance. So sa structure pa lang sa physically, we can easily identify the amorphous solids and the crystalline solids. Okay, the other examples for amorphous solids is the plastic bottles and the glass, then the rubber or being surface niya, no? But in terms of three-dimensional, so hindi siya. It's amorphous. Okay? And the quartz and the glass. So yun yung mga example, other example for amorphous solids. Yan, yung pambura. Okay, yung rubber na pambura natin. So they are made of amorphous. So we were going to describe or differentiate their properties in terms of shape, the melting point, the cleavage property, the heat of fusion, and their nature itself. So in terms of shape property, so the crystalline solid and amorphous solid. So basically sa shape pa lang makikita natin na si crystalline solid ay definite yung characteristics niya. At the same time, napakaganda ng shape niya geometrically. So kumbaga parang meron siyang angle na sinusunod, no? While the amorphous solid, they are irregular shape. So basically makikita natin sila, they are regular shape. So hindi siya perfect cube or hindi naman siya perfect na perfect. Basta irregular shape siya. Yung mga ganun yung shape niya. So that we can easily identify if it is amorphous or crystalline solids. Then in terms of melting point, sabi nga natin kanina, since they are compact, so the crystalline are very much compact together. Therefore, they need a sharp melting point. So, ibig sabihin, ang tagal, okay? The melting point is, it takes longer than the melting points of amorphous solids. Okay? So basically, Kasi nga, napaka-rigid at well-defined yung arrangement ng kanilang structure ng molecules nila or particles. So, mas matagal silang melt. While the amorphous is, they are slightly, there's slightly disorder. So, mas, mas mabilis ma-melt. Although they are still solid, matagal din. Pero in terms of lasting or sa tagal ng kanilang pagkatunaw, mas mabilis to si amorphous solids. Okay? Matunaw. Then in terms of cleavage properties, itong cleavage properties talk about when you slice or break a minerals, then mag-split siya into two. So pagdating kay crystalline, so pag nagkakaroon ng cutting into two, so syempre, bagong uri ulit yun ng solids, which generate is, a surface that are plain and smooth. So basically, pag kinat natin or in-split natin yung ating crystalline solid into two parts, dapat yung makikita na, pag nakita natin, they are plain and smooth. Ibig sabihin, they are crystalline solids. Okay? Kasi yan sa mga tatandaan natin. For example, at pag ikat natin sila, it should be a sharp-edged tool. Okay? Then, sa amorphous naman, pag ikakat siya into two pieces, so magkakaroon siya ng irregular surfaces. Okay, yung magagaspang-gaspang. So basically, karamihan ng rocks, minerals natin are, they are made of amorphous solids. So bihira lang tong crystalline solids. Kasi basically, nasa malalalim na na ilalim ng lupa na kukuha. At the same time, mga rare rocks lang yan or something structures na bihira na nakikita. Then in terms of heat of fusion, so heat of fusion, so they have definite heat of fusion. So basically, definite din yung heat of fusion niya, while the amorphous does not have a definite heat of fusion. So sabihin, may particular na heat of fusion nitong crystalline, while amorphous is wala. Okay? Then in terms of nature, they are true solids. Okay, si crystalline solids, they are basically naturally, they are true solids, while the amorphous solids, they came from the super cooled liquids na tumigas lang. Okay, na nag-cool. So liquid siya. So it's possible na mas mabilis siya. Okay? Mas mabilis siyang alin. Okay, in terms of nature, mas mabilis siyang matunaw kasi nga possible may pinanggalingan lang sa from the super cooled liquids, although super cooled yan, but it came from the liquids itself. So therefore, they can easily melt compared to the crystalline solids. So ayan yung mga unang property na i-discuss natin comparing with them. Okay? So next, we're going to discuss the crystal lattice and the unit cell. So ano naman pinagkaiba nitong dalawang to? So a crystal lattice is a symmetrical three-dimensional arrangement of particles, which is the atoms, the ions, and the molecules inside the crystal. So ibig sabihin, itong isang malaking to, isang malaking cube na yan, is what we call the crystal lattice. At yung mga lattice na sinasabi, it is yung mga line. So from this point to another point is a lattice. This point at another point is a lattice. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nakakonect siya, basically. Then, the smallest repeating unit of a crystal lattice is what we call the unit cell. So basically, pag kukuha kayo ng isang cube dyan, isang part lang ng ating crystal lattice, is what we call the unit cell. And the unit cell, syempre, meron pa rin yang lattice point. So kung kukuha man tayo dyan, kung kukuha pa rin ulit tayo ng mas maliit dyan, there's just a lattice point. Okay? But, yung tawag sa kanya is the unit cell na lang. But the overall is what we call the crystal lattice. Okay? Different ang dalawa. Okay? So, this is a different types of unit cells. So, pwede siyang simple cubic. Okay? We have 90 degrees. Lahat yan. Side by side. It's in three-dimensional area. Then, pwede rin daw siyang tetragonal. Okay, napapansin natin. May mga ibang bato or minerals na tetragonal. Yan, pataas siya. Gaya ng yung kanina pinakita nating example. Yun, yung quartz. Ayan. So, mga possible ganyan. Then, basically, 90 degrees naman. Okay. Hindi naman all side ay 90 degrees. Okay. Then, pwede rin daw siyang magkaroon ng ganitong shape. We have the orthorhombic. Okay? Parang rhombus din siya, 90 degrees. Then the rhombohedral. Okay, hindi naman siya 90 degrees, no? Papasin natin. Then we have monoclinic and a triclinic and a hexagonal. So, yun yung mga different types of units na pwedeng mabuo. So, pag pinagsama-sama natin yung mga may isang units na yan, create a crystal lattice na sinasabi natin, but in different shapes. Okay? So, basically, ganun siya yung nakikita natin yung mga different types of unit cells. So, the types of crystalline solid. So, ito yung last nating the last part of our learning outcomes that we're going to discuss the types of crystalline solids. Okay, so there are 4 types of crystalline solid. These are the ionic solid, the covalent or the network solids, the molecular solids, and the metallic solids. Okay, in ionic solids, yan kung papansin natin, in ionic solids, they are solids whose lattice point are occupied by oppositely charged ions. Okay, so, ibig sabihin, opposite yung yung lattice niya. So, kung yung 1 point is positive, basically yung opposite niya is negative. So, kung negative, possible yung opposite niya is positive. So, laging opposite charge yung ions niya. While the covalent solids, also known as network solids, or solids consisting of atoms held together in one extensive network by covalent bond. So, ibig sabihin, meron daw siyang iisang naka-held siya together in an extensive network. Kaya tinawag din siyang network solids. Okay? Ayan yung covalent solids natin. Then, we have the molecular solids consist of molecular held together by intermolecular forces of attraction. So, molecular solids naman natin, they are consist of molecules kung saan they are held together, they compact each together because of the intermolecular forces or mas kilala natin the IMF attraction. So, yun yung dahilan kung bakit naging compact sila together because the IMF attraction. And the last one is the metallic solids that are composed of metals, atoms, held together by metallic bonding. So ito naman, so they held together because of their metallic bonding. So nagkakaroon ng metallic bonding. So basically, they are metal to metal. So nagkakaroon ng ganong bonding. So basically, parang nagmamagnetize each other. Okay. So to further discuss, so we have here, ayan, the ionic solid, the metallic solids, and the network solids, at ano itong isang natin, the covalent solids, or the molecular. Okay? So, we have here first the ionic, and so yung ionic solid natin, yung in terms of structure units nila. So, sabi nga natin kanina, ionic is the two lattice are positive and negative. They are basically opposite lagi. Okay? While the metallic is basically they are made of metal cations surrounded by a sea of electrons. So yung electrons niya is nasa labas basically, umiikot lang. Then while the molecular solids, they are the covalent bonded molecules. So basically the molecules sila so covalent. Okay, so covalent yung dahilan kung bakit sila banded together. Okay? Then the network solid, the atoms in an infinite 1, 2, and 3 dimensional networks. Okay, pwedeng maraming networks so in 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, infinite siya. Okay, yung dimensional network niya. So yung structural units niya. Then for the force holding units together in terms of ionic solid, so they are their ionic solids basically. Okay, they are ionic bonding. While, syempre, the metallic solids, syempre, metallic bonding sila or the electrostatic attraction between the metal ions and the electrons. Then, syempre, yung forces holding together para naman sa ating molecular is made of intermolecular forces, the IMF. And for the network solids, we use covalent bonding. Okay. So, another properties. So we have the typical properties. So in terms of typical properties, the ionic solids, they are hard, brittle, okay, and they are poor conductor of electricity as solids. Then while the metallic, they are malleable and ductile, and they are good conductor of heat and electricity. And they are wide range of hardness. While the molecular solid, they are low to moderate then they are soft, and they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. While the network solids, they are wide range of hardness, and they are poor electrical conductor with some exemptions. So may mga pinipili siya, ano, bakit hindi siya ganun yung properties niya in terms of conductivity. Next, so mga example ng ating ionic solids, we have the NCl, the LiF, the ClCl2. Then, kung napapansin natin, ito yung composition niya. So, kung itong green is a positive, basically it's a negative. Din ganun din sa kabila. It should be always opposite ions. So, kung positive, negative lagi sila. So, yun yung ionic solids nila. So, well, the example of the metallic, we have the iron, the nickel, okay, yung nasa metallic part ng ating periodic table of elements. Yun yung mga example ng metals. Okay, they are molecular solids. So, ito yung nakikita natin. Okay, ganitong structure nila. Yung components and structure of their particles. Then, for the example of molecular solid, we have the ice, the solid carbon dioxide, the I2, the P4, and the S8. Okay, the metallic solids. Ito naman siya. Pure metallic, no? Okay. Next, we have the network solids. Kung napapansin natin, marami siyang network. Sabi nga natin is one or two or infinite yung networks nila. Sabihin ko yung isa yan, meron ulit yung networks. Kung napapansin natin, so another, maraming network. So example niyan are the diamond, the graphite, and the quartz. Okay. So this is the last part of our lesson for today. So I hope you learned something, and I hope it's clear to you. And if you have any clarification, you can ask me on our GC, and your self check and job sheet already posted in your Google Classroom. Kindly update para makuha natin yung copy. So thank you. That's all for today. See you next in our video.